Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit right now with Dr. Dan from Sioux Falls Hypnosis. And we're kind of getting towards the end here of January, but we're still like right in the middle of winter. And there's like these people who have seasonal affective disorder. Am I saying that right?
Sure. Yeah.
So that's a thing. But there's also people that struggle with other things, sometimes just all kinds of loads of stress.
Just stress, yeah.
And we talked briefly last week about this, but I said I want to devote a little more time this week because that's one of the things I knew. I've heard about, hypnosis for weight loss, which my wife and I have done. I've heard about hypnosis to quit smoking. We know people who are doing that and are getting a good response. But the stress is one that I guess I hadn't even thought of that. And I bet there's others that probably haven't even thought of that. How does that program work, and what does that look like?
Well, sure. So most of what I do is the treatment of sort of medically oriented stuff. So weight loss being the big piece of what I do, but also smoking cessation. But then there's this sort of category that we call stress reduction. And, and that's everything from, people who are experiencing stress, anxiety, nervousness, but also insomnia, difficulty sleeping, blood pressure issues, anything that is stress related or where someone needs to be able to cope or adapt to a situation in a different way. And as you can imagine, there isn't anybody out there that isn't periodically experiencing some kind of stress, particularly now. So the idea is with in the treatment of, you're familiar with your Janis Joplin?
Oh, yeah, Janis Joplin. Yeah.
Freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose.
There you go.
Does that make sense? Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
It was
that.
me and Bobby McGee, I think.
Yeah,
Freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. And the idea is we are moving around in the world with something at risk, with something at stake. Like if I don't get this right, then I'm a bad person. If I can't get this done, then I'm not good enough. If I can't make this work in a useful way or somehow come on top of this, then everything I ever thought about myself or somebody said about me must be true. And that's what we have at risk. Yeah. And people are emotionally moving around in the world with this sense of risk, where they have so much at stake. And that's really where stress comes from. The idea if you're experiencing stress or if you need to handle it differently, is to learn, and we've talked about this, that this is a learning experience, that you get to be okay no matter what.
Yeah.
That no matter if things go wrong, you still get to be okay. If it doesn't work out, you're still a good person. And to really take that in, the learning part is not only that you entertain that in your head, but you actually believe it in your heart. That's the learning piece that needs to take place for people who are experiencing stress. That if this doesn't go well, if it doesn't work out, you're still a good person, you're still worth loving, you still get to be okay. And that's just the case all the time. And if you believe that, stress isn't that big a deal.
This has got to be completely different for you on every basis because, like, somebody who's trying to quit smoking, they're all smoking. It's everybody, they're coming in, they're all smoking. People who are trying to lose weight, they're all trying to lose weight. But the stress, it's probably completely different, caused by different things for everybody. And some people have, like, different types of stress loads and
right, but it all comes down to, that's the interesting thing about stress, is it all comes down to sort of real universal human experiences.
Okay.
We're very much, we have this sense that we're very different, that our experience of stress is different. And my particular stressful constellation is different than yours. But in reality, inside the human being, we're very much alike. And it usually comes down to a version of, if I don't do this well, or I can't make this happen, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not enough, I'm not right, I'm not worth loving. And it usually comes down to just a version of that. At the center of stress for all of us, it is really a universal, generalized, almost archetypal learning experience that we somehow missed along the line. Our lives are hopefully supposed to teach us a piece of that, but sometimes if they don't, or we don't get it quite right, or we need a little more learning, or whatever the case is, we get stuck in there, and that's what people come to hypnosis for, is to finish that learning process so that they can then move through the world and realize they get to be all right, no matter what.
Nice.
Yeah.
If people would like to learn more, you've got a TikTok page, but not everybody's...
Sioux Falls Hypnosis on TikTok.
And not everybody's on TikTok. So if there's people, like I'm too old for TikTok. I call it Tic-Tac because I don't even know how to say it. But if people would like to find you, are you on other social platforms as well? Or where's the best place to go?
You can find me at SiouxFallsHypnosis.com. And on there's a link to my YouTube page. I have teaching, student videos. I have videos from past clients talking about their experience, all available on there. You can go to my website and then take the link to my YouTube page, or you can just go look for Sioux Falls Hypnosis on YouTube. And or you can call me at 605-702-6691. Love to talk to you.
Very nice. Dr. Dan, Sioux Falls Hypnosis. Again, you can find him online, and then from there branch off to all the social medias. But really simple way to find him, SiouxFallsHypnosis.com.